Coach Matt Painter. Bob, go ahead and start us.
And Matt, what do you want your guys to take out of this game?
Well, I thought, in the first half from an offensive standpoint, we weren't, some shots didn't go down for us, but I thought that Wisconsin took us out of some things. I thought Wisconsin was just mentally and physically tougher than we were. And the thing that really harped on our guys throughout the year is, even though, our percentages aren't, they're not terrible. Like, who are you when you miss your free throws? Who are you when you don't have a great, field goal percentage, in the game? Like, can you still grind games out? Can you still win those games? And we've had some close games that we've won. We've obviously had a couple of close ones that we've lost here. And just trying to get them from a preparation standpoint, just more dialed in and just being, being a tougher team. And, right now we're searching for that. We're really searching from a defensive standpoint. I think Johnny Davis, really exposed that.
Staying with defense, one thing we've heard you talk about for years was taking an opponent's best player and making them really have to work for everything,
right.
At least make them inefficient.
Right.
That's kind of been a struggle for this year's team.
No question.
Is that because of personnel? Is that because of them maybe not playing together as well as you like, or how do you account for that?
It's a lot of different guys in there. See, what they run, we switch a lot of what they run. So we get different people on stuff. We try to stop your action and then force you to make plays. But as the game progressed, they didn't go to a lot of it. They just, tried to get him in some different, actions off the ball, just really coming off ball screens or breaking you down. So we just have to get better at what we do more than anything. But we have to, you just don't announce your basketball identity. You don't announce your defensive identity. You earn those things. Mm-hmm. And we just haven't gotten there as a team. And you and Mike cover us and talk all the time to us, and we keep winning games, and I keep telling you we're not very good on defense. And you guys look at me like it's coach's talk, but it's not coach's talk. We're not very good on defense. We have to be able to be better collectively, and we have to be better individually. Because sometimes you get in space. Sometimes you get in space and you can't double things, or you can't corral the ball, or you can't get it stopped. You got to be able to, to get that guy and stop him, when he's in front of you. So we just got to keep working. It's not the end of the world, but obviously Wisconsin outplayed us.
Oh, I believe you.
Your body language says so.
Why was you guys got that 7-point lead in the second half?
Yeah.
Why didn't you? We've seen the second gear from this team.
Right.
Kind of extend that. What prevented that from happening?
Yeah, I think their second gear prevented that. I think a lot of times when you struggle, you want to look at yourself, which you do. I think it's better obviously after you watch tape. But we out rebound them. But to me, it just seemed like they were quicker to the ball. Maybe they were just quicker to the ball, and a couple of those scrambles that were key, especially a couple of ones at the end, especially the one that Brad hit, the three. But like that to me was at that point, it just seemed like they made some 50-50 plays. We'd split free throws. We'd do something positive, not get anything out of it, miss a layup, miss a 5-footer, miss free throws. So we just opened a couple open threes in that stretch. We just couldn't make those next plays to push the game out there. And then obviously they played well in that stretch.
Matt, it looked like you could just never get any consistency offensively and defensively.
Yeah.
You had really good stretches in both
Right.
areas, and then you had stretches where you just had to shake your head. It's like, what are we doing out there?
What are we doing?
Can you talk about that?
Yeah, no, it just, it's a game of runs. Are they making good plays? Sure, like Johnny Davis is a good player. Like he made some tough pull-ups, whatever, but you got to get him off his left hand. He loves his left hand. We had some guys just not aware sometimes when he's in a couple ISOs of, it doesn't mean he can't make a play going right. He's just fabulous going left. He can get to the rim that way and dunk it. He can shoot a pull-up. He can shoot a step back there. But we just couldn't get, like you said, that consistency. When we get the ball down low, we miss something or we get fouled, and we just couldn't reward ourselves for some good plays, and it just seemed like they were doing more of it. And obviously they were in foul trouble. So like going to that, in trying to go down low. And obviously we're having a tough time with Zach. So we just wanted to kind of keep doing that and stay with it to the best of our ability. But no, it's I really don't have a great answer for you until I watch the tape, because you're talking in theory about runs.
What do you feel like your guards or your overall offense had to do better without the freedom of movement maybe that comes with non-conference play?
I don't know if it's a freedom of movement. That's good basketball. I think Wisconsin's well coached. I think they know who their guys are. I think they do a good job. It's really hard in coaching to have role definition. I think they do a good job with their roles. Obviously, Johnny Davis has a career night to beat us, but he still does it. Like, you know what I mean? Give him credit. Like, you know, he's a player, and but no, you have to know who you are and just play to your strengths. There's nothing in the rule book that says if you can't go left, you got to dribble left. There's nothing in the rule book if you're a below average 3-point shooter that says you got to shoot 3-pointers. Like, just know who you are, play your role, do those things, and for the most part, our guys do that. Like, you know, they do that. You know, we just have to grow up a little bit and be tougher. That's all. Like, that was a great lesson for us. You'd hate to have a loss for that lesson, but that's part of competition.
Man, I know you, last week you said that, you know, you questioned your guys about, you know, after giving up 90 that night.
Sure.
The nights you don't shoot well, the stuff like that do happen. It happened tonight, basically. 41% from the field. But did you feel like you were getting good shots that weren't going?
Yes.
Or was your selection good?
Yeah, I felt good about it. Like, we got in a little bit of a scramble there, you know, in the second half, where like we get a couple offensive fouls when the ball's going inside. Like that's all right. Like, you know, things like that is going to happen. You know, we didn't secure the ball a couple times. It led to some runouts for them, and but you just have to be solid. I think the one thing it's a hard thing to do in coaching today is like learning. The guys do the individual workouts. They do one-handed passes. They move the, you know, and everything. Just sometimes, I know you sound like your old man, but being fundamentally sound is a good thing in basketball. You know, playing on 2 feet is a good thing. You know, and just making that next play. At times we get where we're just a little careful, a little casual, you know, with the basketball. We're making some one-handed plays, and then when guys have active hands and they're aggressive like Wisconsin is, you know, now things just aren't as clean. And so, you know, we just have to shore those things up. We just have to be better in that area. Obviously, we win the rebound battle, but we turned over 12 times. When you play Wisconsin, they're not going to turn over very much, but we'd love to have those 5 possessions back. If you want to solve the game off, you know, if you got 5 more possessions, you probably win the game. And so, you know, they got more cracks at it than we did.
From an opposing coach's standpoint, who has to prepare for him, how different or much better is Johnny Davis?
Well, we had him in USA basketball. Obviously, he didn't get as much of an opportunity last year with that senior laden team that they had. And he's good, man. He was good. Obviously, he made the U19 team that Jaden and Caleb first played on. But he's really good. He's great off his left hand. You know, he's got a great pull-up. He's a streaky 3-point shooter. He made a huge one, you know, when we go under that ball screen for whatever reason. You know, we wanted to keep him off his left hand, but we didn't want to give him space where he could just stop and shoot it. But he's really good. He's a definition of a two-way player, all right? He's given the same amount of effort on the defensive end. He gets deflections, he gets blocks, he takes on challenges, and then offensively, you know, that speaks for itself. He's a fabulous player. You know, he's got a bright future. I'd like to be his agent.
Go through more.
And
Mackey.
Ethan seems particularly upset about his performance defensively,
Yeah.
especially again not limiting Johnny when he was
Right.
going left and kind of knowing that was in the scouting report. But what does that say about Ethan as a player? Just kind of
Yeah.
seems like he really puts that load defensively on himself in
Right.
terms of stopping the team's best score.
Well, Ethan did a really good job until the end. You know, he had a couple breakdowns there at the end when he fouled him on the one, and then when they were buried in that corner, and then he just got too deep on his line, and they threw it out to Johnny Davis there, and he hit that 3. But no, he's made big time strides. Obviously, he had a tough year last year, but he's made a big time stride. He cares. He cares. Our guys care. It's just it's a hard thing when you get ranked high and you get into. It's just a very hard thing when everybody is kind of like, you know, to still have that understanding of what discipline you need to be a successful player, be a successful team. That's why losses normally shape you. You know, now it's like, okay, you know, we can't get back to this. So, you know, Ethan's worked really hard to be in this position. You like look at his line, you know, 4 assists, 0 turnovers, 6 rebounds. You know, he's out there competing. But, you know, he's got to learn for it. He hasn't been in a lot of these. And so, but he cares and wants to win.
Last one.
You talked about needing to be tougher.
Yes.
How do you coach toughness?
You recruit it is the best way to do it. You know, because it's who you are for 18 years old, you can't change. You know, that is who you is. Now, can you grow somebody from a certain point and make them better at something? Yes. But I don't think you can make somebody awful at toughness and make them great. I don't think that works. You're jumping way too far on that. But just you try to instill from a mental toughness. You know, mental toughness is just doing simple things over and over and over again. That's what mental toughness is. You know, when something applies in the game of basketball, and this is what I'm supposed to do, I do my job every single time. That's mental toughness. And so from a physical standpoint, we talked about it before. So I write on the board every game. I have a big slot on offense, I have a big slot on defense. Then at the end, and I say it a handful of times in the year because I mean it, and in the middle it says play hard. And so I have a couple things in there, play hard. And I always say that what I wrote on offense and what I wrote on defense does not matter if you don't play hard. And what I wrote under play hard this time was embrace the physicality of the game. Embrace getting hit and still being able to make a play and not look at the ref for a call. Like just play through those things. Like be able to have that. I don't think we were bad in that area, but we definitely weren't as good as Wisconsin. And that's what we got to get. We got to collectively be better, you know, at those things. It doesn't mean we're bankrupt. It just means we got to be better. And you know, it's a game. It's a fine line. Like you got into a possession game there at the end. It's a possession game. So you just got to be a possession better to tie it, and then you got to be another possession better and getting loose balls or not turning the ball over. You know, it's just that mental and physical toughness.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Good question.